plays you never heard of are playing 40 minutes. What would the NBA do about it? But yeah, as we kind of start to, trudge into the weekend, right? So we got football every day. We got to have football every day. MMA is actually at noon on Saturday. Golf is rolling. I haven't even checked how I'm doing there yet. It's just, making up for that June and July period, right? That May, June, and July period. So what do you? What are we doing tonight?
All right, man. Well, we got an interesting one. I think there's a lot of. I mean, obviously, there's just so much insane value that I think just playing certain other value over some of the value that we've got is something I'm trying to figure out how to do. So, okay, so Nwaba. Start with him because he'll be one of maybe the most popular. He and Ben McLemore. I see paths. Look, they're going to have to play minutes. There's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 of the Houston guys to get there. I'm speaking on DK for right now because I actually think that I prefer Miami on FanDuel. But just starting off with the DK side of it. So I'm trying to find the bus paths and how it works out with these guys. So let's take a look. McLemore, we've seen that. Like it's about shooting. Yes, he'll probably be being near half my lineups, and I would bet you. I don't know. I might be under the field on that. Or playing these guys, all of them, and then also playing Sumner or something like that, where you can use that other value, or maybe because Aaron Holiday after the monster game he put up the other night against Portland, which makes it a little bit easier, but. So I'm trying to figure out whether I want to decide to go for the different value. I think that if you're gonna play the Houston blowout angle, the Spurs blowout angle, I think you want to try and play Tate. The guy who I think is really interesting is Cousins. I think you'd see a lot of ways Cousins ends up playing more than 18 minutes, even if he gets up to 20 or 24 or 24 maybe being the ceiling. This is a guy who can put up like 50 fantasy points. Like it's not a joke, and this isn't not a bad matchup for him at all. So if you're going to play the game as close, it's odd, though, because I like both Cousins and Wood in that case. Obviously, Wood is going to be the super chalky play. But I just wanted to mention Cousins as a different pivot. There's also other weird value on DraftKings that I don't hear anybody really talking about that much, like Nurkic, for example, is 5,300. I know it's a back-to-back. He's looked better. They've been trying to get him involved more early. And the team plays too big. So I don't really know without Nurkic how he's not going to play 30 minutes, whereas most people are projecting him for like 26, 27 minutes. So that's just interesting. And we did just get a Houston starting lineup, which is Brown, McLemore, Tate, Tucker, and Wood. So no Nwaba in the starting lineup. Now I like Nwaba just because people will come off of him a little bit. Brown, McLemore, Tate, Tucker, Wood. It also makes Tate a better play. But I think that Nwaba now just became a good tournament play. We've also seen this with Sterling Brown before, not quite in these smaller rotations, but it's not like he has to put up 35 fantasy points here. And it's not, you could say, yeah, we'd all be happy with 20 from a minimum cost guy or 25 on a normal day. Today, I think you really want to try and tattoo the value. You need to try and hit it big time. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. The other big plays I like, I love an off the board. I don't care. Again, I'm not going to care about this Jamal Murray thing. I'm willing to play shooters when they can always win me a slate and they're cheap enough. It does seem like a different offense. It seems, even more, it's hard to believe, but it's even more focused on Jokic. And you would think with Porter being out, it would have spread out a little bit more than it did. Barton had a nice game the other night, but I think Jamal Murray is an interesting off the board play. I'm curious to see where Chris Boucher ends up ownership wise. I think I would play him just because of the tournament factor over, on basically the same price on DraftKings. I'd play Boucher ahead of Kelly Olynyk, unless I was stacking the game up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So here are my thoughts. I have a couple of kind of basketball related thoughts, which might impact some of this value. So first of all, as far as just pure projection goes, Sterling Brown, McLemore, I was on DraftKings. Nwaba, Precious, but even like the 3 Houston guys are, they're projecting really, really well. So let me throw a couple of things at you. Number one is Precious. I have 100% of him on FanDuel right now. Mm-hmm. And I want to make a case. Now, again, I was watching the game the other day, and as hard as it was to guard Embiid, like he was like hopeless. I mean, like he was getting toasted. And if you wanted to do something a little different, maybe they try to Chris Silva a little bit more. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing you could do. The other thing is that, again, all I'm trying to do is look for these guys from these popular games and see who's could possibly be low owned. And I'm willing to take a shot with Max Strus at 3,100. Again, this is whatever. And then you already mentioned Sumner, which I was going to bring up. I want to talk about the Portland game for a minute, because like before all this, well, we sort of should have known all this news, but the first thing that kind of popped out when people saw the salaries last night was that Nurkic was priced down to 5,200, right? Especially coming off of a 42-point fantasy game. So I happen to have done really well with him last night in that 250 in that 4 max I had. So I was really watching that game pretty carefully because I was, of course, the only one who had him within like 400 spots of me. I mean, like 4% owned, right? And you don't remember when we were talking about this last night. I said, if he's in, is he a good player? You said, yeah. So I said, okay, good enough for me. So here's the deal with Nurkic, right? So I was watching. He got into a little bit of foul trouble, right? And they took him out pretty early in the third quarter, and then they put him back in, and they let him run like literally the whole fourth quarter. And he was. I mean, it was in a fast-paced game against Sacramento. And it was, I mean, he was dead exhausted, but God love him, man. He was freaking awesome. You know what I mean? He got some blocks. He didn't get a lot of assists, but they definitely run like the whole offense through him, right? When it's not, McCollum and Lillard just taking over, right?
Right.
So when I was watching that game, I was already like considering possibly fading somebody like Nurkic coming off of a minute ceiling, which is what it was, right?
Yep.
A minute ceiling and a back-to-back.
He's not, well, I don't know if it's a minute ceiling, but it's definitely the most he's played this year. Yeah.
Off of his minute ceiling so far. Right?
Yeah, second most he played this year, but that was
straight into a back-to-back off the high-paced games minute ceiling, and the way the minutes were dispersed, like all of them, like right in a row at the end. And then I was also looking at those other dudes, like freaking Lillard and McCollum played like 42 minutes last night. So I was kind of like worried about that whole Portland thing, because I know I was going to end up getting drawn to some of them, because with the value out there, you're going to get Lillard in lineups, like, especially in FanDuel, right?
Yep.
But even on DraftKings. So I'm a little nervous about it. I'm going to have just a shit ton of Lillard tonight, and I'm really not I don't want to say too happy about it. How can you not be happy about it? But he's got Brogdon guarding him, right? Which is no bargain. And he's coming off a back-to-back, whatever. So I was thinking about the Portland thing, so that's why I was thinking about Nurkic. And where I left myself with Nurkic this morning was, all of that aside, he's still only 5,300. Like, even if he only plays 25, 26 minutes, still might be enough. But is that enough on a slate like this, right? Is he not going to just get outscored by one of those 3K guys? So the other guy that I want to throw into the mix, aside from the guys that you mentioned all the obvious, values. I mentioned the obvious value. You mentioned some of the good pivots. None of us mentioned Gabe Vincent, which I'm sure he's fine. But a guy like that from a totally different game, who on another slate, I don't know, just because of my projections, might be really popular, who I'm getting at 7% ownership right now, is JaMychal Green. So again, it's totally not the same thing. He's not playing 47 minutes like these other 3,200 guys. But I'm just saying that he's going to be like 1/10 of the ownership of some of these guys. And just to throw out a potential pivot if you need to, most people are going to need to dechalkify their lineup somewhere. I want to throw that in the mix and ask you about it also.
Yeah, so I'm not interested in Green specifically because I feel like but there are other guys with the upside in that range. Like, to me, if I'm going to play JaMychal Green, I'll find the 500 and play Cousins.
What about the guy that we really didn't mention? The guy that's 7%, who's also going to play 47 minutes, right? But he always plays 47 minutes, and I'm being exaggerating. But what about PJ Tucker?
Yeah, I actually think Tucker, and he actually sees he actually sees a boost without these guys, so I don't mind that at all.
Okay.
Play Tucker over Tate or over the other guys. I'd have no problem with that.
I gotta look at this again because I don't have a single share of this Tate guy. I gotta look into this.
Sean Tate, I mean, he's been playing minutes anyway. He's solid.
Okay.
Why it's kind of annoying to me that Nwaba wasn't starting because I actually think he has a better chance to succeed now, and it's more likely that he closes if they do get blown out. But it's kind of frustrating a little bit for me because I really wanted to take a shot on fading him at Mega Chalk, where no longer is that going to be the case. And now,
I had a super sneaky way to play on FanDuel, by the way, which no one was going to do, but I needed somebody to get ruled out, and it just didn't happen. I was really going to take a shot with Charlotte guys if Hayward was out. I was going to play Lowry with the Charlotte dudes over there on FanDuel, and no one was going to have it. But with Hayward in, I can't do it.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, sorry, what was I lost one part of this whole thing. So let's talk about Miami for a second on DraftKings. I think they all of a sudden, like, that game stack became a great game stack. And I don't think it's going to have the ownership that it should because of what we have elsewhere.
I totally agree. I don't see why it's not this. I mean, it's different because Philly's got those guys. I mean, but the Miami side is still just as good, isn't it?
Yeah, the problem is that there's more likelihood for a blow up. But again, like I've pointed out, Philly has a hard time blowing people out, and Miami is not a team that gets blown out very often. Call it heat culture or whatever you will. They just don't let it happen very much.
Dude, don't forget, Harrow was basically invisible in that last game. He still had 50 fantasy points or something, whatever he got.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know the overtime helped, but he did have 40 in regulation, I believe.
Yeah, and it was all in the fourth quarter pretty much.
Yeah, but I mean, look, and part of that starts, Duncan Robinson makes 5 threes in the first quarter and doesn't do anything afterwards. It just was like a trading off, basically. Somebody just texted. I know Hayward's out. Hayward's doubtful. I doubt he plays.
Whoa, hold on. Hayward's now doubtful?
Oh yeah. That was a while ago.
Well, he was probable.
This was like a half hour ago that he was doubtful.
Oh my God, I'm going to do this then. I'm totally going to do this.
What are you going to do?
I'm playing the Charlotte guys on FanDuel. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I totally get it. I like LaMelo, who I don't necessarily expect to start. I think they'll start Bridges. And Bridges has played really, really well this year, like in real life. Not about fantasy points always, but he does have a ceiling. And he's a guy who, if you're playing a ton of lineups, maybe you'd want to get a little bit of exposure to. But I think LaMelo does get the uptick here. It doesn't still mean LaMelo's closing. It doesn't mean LaMelo's going to play more than 30 minutes. It really doesn't. But it just gives him more opportunity in what has been the best matchup in basketball is going up against Toronto from a distribution, from a passing standpoint, from an assist standpoint. They are the number one team at giving up points to giving up assists, basically, to guards. So I sort of like I've got a couple big lineups going, which what I'm doing is where I'll play 4 Houston guys in one of those lineups, but I'm running it back with DeRozan. I don't think you need to absolutely run it back. I happen to like the matchup for DeRozan. I know he was out for personal reasons. There's no reason why he shouldn't play every minute possible if he's good to go. And I do like having that little run back and playing the 4-man who I feel the most comfortable staying on the court in a close game. You with me, Sheets?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm like a little pissed off now.
Yeah.
What I gotta go find those lineups that I got rid of because I thought that they said that Hayward was probable. That's fine. That's fine.
He's doubtful. Let's see. This is so Hayward too. I feel kind of bad for this guy's career, man. I'm looking around though at the other. So Mason Jones, who will be the 5 in the blowout case in Houston? It'll be Mason Jones, Nwaba, Tate, Brown, and McLemore, in my opinion. They're not going to leave Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins and PJ Tucker out there. Tucker might be out there just because he's always out there. The weirdest part is PJ Tucker actually has a lower minutes projection than he's had every other day of the season. You know what I mean? I've got him projected at 34 minutes, and it makes kind of sense. Like, I mean, every day he's like, and he's been under the projections the entire year this year, except for like 2 games. But every day he's like projected. At first, he always starts off, he's at 36 minutes, 38 minutes, and now without these guys, he's gone. It's just kind of funny to me. But so back to it. So Tate, let's see. I really wanted to get some. So I really am interested in Sumner as a pivot off of some of these guys. And I know
Is he going to start or no?
Well, I have no reason to think he wouldn't start.
Okay.
Again, but I mean, look, things happen. People, I get surprised sometimes. I literally like the nut matchup for him. He played 30 minutes, and I don't care about what he actually did. And my call, I felt like I was 100% right about Sumner, and I believe in him. But Aaron Holiday, Aaron Holiday took over. That's basically what happened. And that's where it comes to guys like Gabe Vincent and this. Like, are we really sure that those guys are better plays than Aaron Holiday?
Are we sure that Gabe?
Something here? Why Aaron Holiday's projection is he played almost 30 minutes the other night. I don't see why he wouldn't have a similar thing again. He had 12 assists. He's got a great matchup again. I need to maybe I'm reaching on Holiday here a little bit, but I do think like it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why he's projected at 18 minutes. Did somebody else get announced in for them or something? I got to take a quick look at Indiana. I'm going to answer some questions, but I just want to take a look at this first. All right, let's see. Sumner, Bonus Turner. Did McDermott? Oh, McConnell's back. Damn it. Okay, I didn't even realize McConnell was back. I had him as out, but now I guess we're calling him as probable. Yikes, that sucks. Yeah, it was personal for him too. Okay, so Sumner just dropped out of my thing a little bit, even though I think Sumner still gets, and Holiday definitely dropped out. But Sumner is still probably a fair enough play because he's probably still going to get the run out there as the 2 guard with Brogdon at the 1, or he'll be running the small forward if they play Holiday out there, or he'll play the 2 and the other Holiday will play the 3. There's a lot of ways Sumner still gets plenty of minutes here. I don't see them. They can play McConnell and Brogdon together. Sure, Brogdon can absolutely play the 2, but I don't know if they're going to do that for more than like 14, 18 minutes, maybe at the most. So I'm just looking at that game a little bit. I'm trying to rank my Houston value. I'd like to update my projections before I do so because I feel like it'd be a little bit off. So let me answer a few questions in chat and say what's up to the people. Guys, what's up? What's up, Alex, Todd, Oswaldo? Good to see you guys. Thanks for dropping the rockets on it. Does LaMelo play more minutes? I don't think it's guaranteed, but I still like LaMelo. I still think he's a great tournament play. Boucher is crazy expensive on FanDuel. Makes him an interesting play, but I like him better on DraftKings. Okay, so Miles Bridges on FanDuel without Hayward. You can do it. There's a lot of value that you're foregoing. You have Tate also at 4K. You have Precious at 4,100. So Bridges on a team that has 5 other guys and a full team other than Hayward. I don't know that he's a better play. It's a good it's a better longer shot play, to be honest. It's not like I don't think his optimal is as high as these other guys. These other guys are like locked into the minutes because they have no other choice. Okay. So Bridges might play as many minutes, and if he does, sure, I like him, but I don't see that as being like a guarantee of any sort. This is interesting. So Miami. So one build that I think is interesting is to do the Miami thing on FanDuel and to try and play Embiid and Jokic in that same lineup. That makes a lot of sense to me. The Miami guys are priced a little bit to where it does feel a little bit, okay, do we do this? Precious makes the most sense, obviously. Gabe Vincent makes some sense, but let's just take a look at Gabe Vincent last time. He played 36, would have been 31 minutes because he played the overtime. Made 4 of 12 threes, but took 12 threes. That makes me want to play him. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you can pay $1,300 more and just get the guy you know is going to play all the time if the game's close in Duncan Robinson. And maybe forgo Vincent. That's one other way to go. There's a way that both Hero and Robinson end up well into the.
What's the deal with Ben Simmons?
He's playing apparently. That's the rule. That's the word.
No, I know, but like he sucks.
He was hurt. I mean, he's coming back from an injury. Give the guy a break. I don't understand why everybody fell so in love with playing him the other night. I understood it as like a pivot, but he didn't even play the overtime because he's hurt. He's coming back from injury. He didn't
play the overtime because he fouled out.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I couldn't figure it out because the announcer actually said it at one point that he was out, and I was just like, oh, he's.
No, he fouled out.
Yep.
The one guy that they did not close within the overtime actually, who was not fouled out, was Maxey.
I wonder who was playing as well. Maxi's not a guy we're thinking about playing anyway tonight.
No, I remember I was just watching
That's weird. He played 36 minutes.
Yeah.
They were, so you know what it was? Is they had the lead in overtime. They probably made a defense for offense. I don't remember who came in, but Maxi's still a rookie. He's going to probably struggle more defensively than I'm guessing whoever they put in the other guy. They put in your guy, Matthias.
Yeah, no, as I mentioned, I mean, Maxi's kind of bad with the pick and roll.
Yeah, he'll get there. He's good.
Especially when he plays 42 minutes a day during COVID.
Yeah, seriously. Apparently, just side note, because we do have only a 5-game thing, even though there's a lot to go on. We still got plenty of time.
Yeah.
But Maxi is one thing that's interesting is Maxi is the Rocket. Apparently, the deal was almost done with Philly, and literally virtually done. When it was Ben Simmons, and they wouldn't give up Maxi.
Really?
Yeah, he said untouchable.
Where is he from? Kentucky?
Yeah. Pretty good bet to always just stick with the guys from Kentucky. They always seem to work out pretty well. All right, I'm seeing real quick if the projections updated.
Yeah,
feels fishy about the Sterling Brown thing a little bit. Like I have him like almost locked in on DraftKings. I think I'm going to get some other exposure elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm hoping that in my next run here, that I don't end up with 100% of them again.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
Tate, you got we've got. Hold on, I'm looking at my other priorities here. All right,
is Tate going to be popular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that he's starting, especially, I think he will be.
Oh, okay. I want to see.
He's starting and he's sort of blowout-proof. It's hard to imagine. I mean, I'm sure he could foul out or something, but hard to imagine him not getting the run. Yeah, right now he just jumped up to being like probably the third best point per dollar play behind Brown. Yeah, I think Nwaba's ownership is definitely going to drop and probably justifiably so. He's actually an interesting turn. That is one interesting thing in tournaments is play Nwaba.
Nwaba really hasn't.
He doesn't do things. That's why I was going to make the argument to fade him. But if people aren't going to play him and they have an 8-man rotation and he'll close under probably either circumstances, it's hard not to have some interest. I'm going to answer a few more questions in chat because I said I was going to.
Yeah.
TJ McConnell, I was a little late on that one. Sheets, you're getting happy Thursday, K9 Bronco. I thought it was another happy birthday for Sheets.
Oh no, yeah.
I felt like we're gonna get. It's the birthday week. It's like what the 30-year-old girls do if they have their birthday week.
So does Mrs. Sheets. So we don't want to say anything bad.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean bad. I know
it is what it is.
Same with my significant others. Yeah. Devin Vassell, a sleeper with a blowout game. I think there's just absolutely no reason to do that, especially with them back. It doesn't really. Look, it's going to work out once in 100 times. That's probably not enough. And even if he goes off, he doesn't even probably beat the other value. Sniping the Harmon, calling PGA. Oh, okay. Harmon just eagled something. I don't know.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Thank you. Yes. Yes. That's somebody watched the video, I guess. Yeah, that was my top play.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions about San Antonio. You guys, I don't think that people realize. DeMar DeRozan is playing, right?
No, I'm playing DeRozan.
Yeah, me too. But everybody keeps asking questions about San Antonio guys as if DeRozan's out. If DeRozan was out, I would have no problem taking a shot on Lonnie Walker. But you're just playing a guy just to play a guy now. There's literally no logic behind it. There's no rhyme or reason to why he's a good play tonight. He can always, sure, anybody can get hot in the NBA, but I think what we're seeing from him is lots to do with DeMar DeRozan, who literally they run every single thing through. Has been out. So I'm not as interested in and by the way, Aldridge before that too. So, and he wasn't even good in all those games. He was good in a couple of them. So I wouldn't get heavy on the San Antonio other guys. I do like Will Barton. I think it's a very, it's a weird pick because like Will Barton and Draymond Green both sort of keep ending up near some of my builds. And I'm like, I'm okay with it, but I'm not in love with it. I do think Barton is okay. I don't think you need to prioritize getting him in. I need to look at his FanDuel price, but even then it's hard because you have the other incredible value over on FanDuel from the Heat. Okay. How do I feel about, somebody said to me about Gary Trent Jr. in the other, how do I feel about Gary Trent Jr. Prevex decent? He is getting more minutes, but again, like I know we're looking for pivots after value, but I think we're better off taking a shot with the guys who probably are going to have a little more playmaking role. Now, Gary Trent is an okay guy to take. The truth is, though, he's got to have to shoot the ball well. If you look at Gary Trent Jr.'s games over 20 fantasy points, he made 7 out of 11 threes in one of them and 4 out of 5 threes in the other one. So look, if he makes a bunch of threes against a really good defense, great. But I don't see any reason why we should play him tonight over any other night, other than just specifically to try and get off the other value, which is, again, it's fine for large field GPPs. It's fine. It's not the optimal play for sure. I feel pretty confident in saying that. And I'm looking at my lineup here. I don't need Hero Robinson. I don't need to. I do need that. Hold on, shoot. I have LaMelo in one of my big buy-ins on FanDuel. Somebody asked about that before. Vincent Nwaba, and maybe Nwaba's like just the play now. And oddly enough, I don't have Tate in my Houston stack with DeRozan. I am going to play Tate in my other one.
This is so sneaky. No.
Talk us through it.
No, it has nothing to do with DFS.
Oh no! How does this happen every time we're on the air? You find something else going? You got something else going on?
No, nothing. You want me to explain? Okay. I was wondering why I wasn't getting any Jae'Sean Tate, and this new fancy thing that I'm doing, this spreadsheet, sometimes gets wonky when different sites spell a guy's name differently.
Oh.
So Sean was like, one place had him with like an accent, and the other guy didn't, so he literally didn't show up at all. But I caught it, so I'm gonna rerun everything. So that, I told you it had nothing to do with DFS, but it certainly has something to do with DFS. Okay, all right. So here it is. All right, fair enough.
If I play Olynyk, so yeah, we get into some weird spots because if you're gonna play Precious on DraftKings, which I think you should be, personally. I honestly don't see a path where he doesn't play close to 30 minutes. He was, really solid, over a point per minute the other night. I think we see something similar again tonight. Even if the game's not close, I don't really. I mean, I guess then you do have the argument that maybe it does go. The run does go to Silva. I'm wondering if I actually think Nwaba and Sumner are really close. Like,
that's pretty ballsy, huh?
I don't know if
Nwaba and him, sure.
They're supposed to play the same amount of minutes. Nwaba is not even starting, and Sumner is expected to. Also the one other like brainchild play, which I made the same call the other night.
Yeah,
Miles Turner.
That's another thing, by the way, with Nurkic. This is not exactly the easiest matchup for him.
I agree, but again, you need the bodies, though. Yeah. So it's
Covington going to guard. By the way, is Covington going to guard Sabonis? Is that what's happening?
Who?
Covington's going to guard Sabonis.
I would imagine he does.
Yeah.
It makes the most sense. Covington's an excellent defender, rangy. The reason why he plays a million minutes and do anything every night.
Okay, now I was wondering why this Tate character wasn't showing up anywhere. All right, now he's showing up. So now I can bust with Tate like the rest of everybody else.
Like the rest of the group.
Like the rest of the group. Okay, very good.
What if I play Robinson here? All right, guys, I'll jump back into the questions in a minute. I got to get my lineups together, and just so I feel good to move forward. Another wild off the board play. Don't do it in your main lineups.
Who?
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not even going to say it.
Oh, you can say it?
He's coming back from a COVID protocol thing.
Who?
Shake Milton.
Ooh, shake.
Way off the board. I mean, these other guys have all been playing a bazillion minutes. No one's going to play him. I just think he's interesting. I don't know if I'm going to end up getting to him, but I think it's interesting. Some of these other, like the Gary Trent thing is Gary Trent.
Let me tell you something else about Portland. Since somebody brought up Gary Trent, okay. Again, I watched that whole Portland game yesterday. Okay, and I watched a lot of Portland, but I watched this with intent. Okay, Portland, and this is why I was wondering why every time I play Covington, I feel weird, right? If you play guys like Covington, you play guys like Trent, you have to accept the fact that what Portland is literally. I mean, it's a three-man team, right? It's Lillard and McCollum, and one of them is always on the court, right? And they run stuff through Nurkic. Nurkic always gets the rebounds, not always, but most of the time. He gets the blocks. It's really that's really the way they run their team. Like if Trent or Covington or anybody else like gets fantasy points, it's just an accident. Not that accidents can't happen,
Sure.
and not that you can't play them on certain slates. But those guys, I mean, there's just got to be better ways than playing Trent and Covington and guys like that.
I agree. McLemore, Sterling Brown, Sean Tate, Precious. I'm just gonna see if we got updated. If I can update the ownership in Charlotte. Oops! Don't do this to me now.
Yeah, this is this is probably smart. On FanDuel, I'm not playing the big buy-in, even though I'm pretty hot cashing in that thing.
Yeah, no, dude, you've been really hot on that.
Pretty hot.
I thought I had a chance. I was looking pretty good last night. I had basically the absolute just the chalk, but it was like the chalk with Randall, who was popular. So I guess he's part of the chalk. But I had PJ Washington, who put up 39, and he was 6,500, and that was sort of put you in a funny different build. And then Barrett, after the horrible first half, actually put up 30, which was not great, but it actually was better than most other people's small forwards. And then I had the Fox Lillard thing with Lonnie Walker and Bruce Brown, and
what was awesome is that on the DraftKings one, the one that I did well on, that had neither Lillard nor Fox, and I got third. But on FanDuel, I had Lillard and Fox together in the monster, so everybody was happy.
That's pretty funny.
All right, so let me get DraftKings back up here. Now that you mentioned it, all right, just for the hell of it, let me see how this cat's doing. So Harmon made an eagle. All right, fair enough.
Point per dollar, shooting guard, more Sumner.
76% Harmon. Let's go. Okay.
Tell you what, I don't think people will do is play Sumner and Nwaba together.
Okay.
And I've got some lineups there. I'm like, oh, okay. That actually looks like it makes a little bit of sense. Somehow I keep ending up at Lonzo Ball, though. I always end up with exactly 7,600 left when I'm done with my build.
Lonzo Ball?
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a hard habit to break, man. Maybe for so long. Let's see. Ugh.
So listen, again, I don't know if anybody's. I'm probably not going to come on here. I might come. We'll come on tomorrow, but maybe I think I might be out tomorrow actually. But for those of you that I only did the MMA thing, as a couple people asked me to. It was a really, really big MMA scoring change that everybody who plays MMA. I hope. People are not going to make as big a deal of this as it is. They're giving not only a first round, bonus, which they've had before, but there's an extra bonus if you finish something in 60 seconds or less, and it's a huge bonus. You basically have to play all the people that can knock the guy out. I went over this in the video, but I'm psyched that MMA is at noon because I usually can't watch it. Then I don't even like watching it. I like you know how I sweat the MMA, by the way. I literally put on Bloody Elbow, who's the Twitter feed there, and he does kind of the play-by-play. That's kind of what it's. I don't even like watching it. I don't know, but I like sweating it that way. That's weird. All right, so I'm totally Truck City on DraftKings.
So how do we get different for you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you can play Nwaba and Sumner off of your pivots. That's one thing. You can play the the Miami guys, who are not going to be the ownership that people initially expected. Certainly not when the day started. If you want to get really gross, you might see Caleb Martin in the starting lineup tonight.
Who?
Caleb Martin for Charlotte.
Oh, for Charlotte?
Yeah.
I have a lineup with him.
You got a little bit of that?
I got a lineup with him. I snuck him in there. Just by accident. I got him in. It's literally the entire lineup is the chalkiest players on the slate and Caleb Martin.
So I'm doing it one of my big ones.
Excellent.
No. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the Sumner and Nwaba thing together and skip Precious in my Miami stack and play Olynyk instead. It's weird. I understand it. I actually think there's some merit to this. But we do want to get less Nwaba in general. That should be the part of the goal here. You shouldn't want to have.
Yeah, I just had a sliver.
Yeah. The problem is the other, like, if you're not him, you're playing Brown. And I'll tell you what, like, Nwaba at least, like, doesn't really do it. I mean, he's a good defender.
Yeah, hold on. I want to address something that came up here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jason Williams, I am really with you on this. I think that Curry can go off tonight. I totally am with you. I have so little of him.
I have Curry absolutely like everywhere, and I actually was trying to actively get him out of my lineups.
Really? Oh, not me. I'm like, I'll trade you some of my Lillard for some Curry, I guess.
Let's see. Go Curry here, not Sumner. Curry. I do think. I mean, look. One thing about this Vincent thing is, if he was 3,200, don't you think people would be playing him over these other guys? So are we really going to let that 1K matter all that much? Because
1K is a decent amount, isn't it?
It is, but like you're talking about a guy who took 20 shots last time. We've never seen ever any of these other guys take 20 shots except for Ben McLemore.
Right.
So it's just probably worth, keeping in mind. Sterling Brown's minutes feel so safe, and the position makes it harder to fade him than the other guys. But yeah,
his minutes are safe, but his minuscule usage might be safe too, right? I mean,
yeah, that's true. Okay, we got Curry. Let me just do this.
Why do I not have Tucker? I gotta get that. That's what I gotta do.
I like the Tucker call, by the way. I'm into that play. The problem I run into is that I'd rather play Achua, obviously, for a little bit more. But tell you what, I don't mind that Tucker call.
Yeah, I mean,
Every now and then, it feels like we're figuring out this puzzle, and we are. We're always trying to get it the best we can. But then once the games start, it's just they're going to play basketball. You know what I mean?
Right.
Things are going to happen. All kinds of stuff is. Somebody's going to get hot, and you're going to be like, "How'd you not know? How'd you not call this guy going off?" And just going to be, well, look, sorry. What else can we do?
The fact of the matter is that Christian Wood's a great
player. Yeah. Christian Wood is a great play on both sides.
Yeah, I have 100% of 3 guys on FanDuel, I think, and that is Wood, Precious, and Hero.
I'll tell you what. I'm starting. I just now I'm not going to end up probably getting to it, but again, I do like this play a little bit because they just announced the Sixers starting lineup, and Shake Milton's not starting.
Oh, look at you! You're not only going for Shake, but you're going for Shake off the bench.
I lost my mind, I think. Yeah, right now I've got Curry locked in on FanDuel.
Okay, excellent.
Go over some FanDuel plays because I don't think Curry's getting overlooked today, though. I think he's too popular. That's why I wanted to get off of him.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I did the Curry Murray thing. I mentioned that I was going to do a little bit of that.
That gets you really different right away, actually.
I think so. I really do. And that's what you were trying to do on these sites. Like Murray, look, every day Murray projects like 10 to 15% ownership and ends up at like 5% owned. And you know what? Probably for good reason based on the production. But still, this is a guy who has a 60 fantasy point upside, and it's every day. And he's got a good matchup. And he likes to play against the big boys. Like he always has the big games against the other top point guards because he feels like he belongs there. And you know what? He kind of proved it in the playoffs last year. But
when is the Golden State game?
The Golden State game.
Are they at home? Is it late? I mean,
late.
All right, because and what's his price, Curry?
9,600.
Crap. Okay.
Why is that bad?
No, because I have 100% Lillard right now on FanDuel and 0% Curry.
Do you have any room to spare? You could just.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh man, you just got to.
I might later. I might
find that 2v2 if you can. I think. All right, so let's talk about positions on FanDuel in just a minute. I'm going to answer some more questions in chat for real quick, just because I want to catch up. All right, let's see. Spend ups on DK include Jokic, Embiid, Curry, Wood, Chris, aka Bobby Boucher, but he's not quite a full spend up. But
that's from Waterboy, right? Is that what that's from?
Yeah. Okay.
People
wrote me back when I posted that, I tweeted it, and people were like, "What the hell? What does that mean, Bobby Boucher? Like, is you saying that because your name's Bobby and you called something on him?" I was like, "No,
that's BS. You want to know why? Because like, in this day and age, like whenever somebody says something like that, if you don't get it, you're supposed to just Google it. Everybody knows.
Yeah, it's true. Fair enough. On DK, who do I like 4,500 or lower besides Tate?
Oh, everybody.
Yeah, all of them. That we just named like 9. I just named like 9 of them, but I'll do it again. The guys I'm playing: Sterling Brown, Macklemore. Macklemore makes the most sense. Again, definitely a fail path with this guy, but he's going to shoot. He needs somebody to shoot. So Macklemore, him. I'm going to play some Nwaba. I already mentioned Tate already. Who else do we have over there from the Sheets with a nice call. I agree with him on PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker, don't be surprised. He could do some things here. What else we got here? I like Gabe Vincent too as an off the board ish play. I use the ish is a strong way of putting it, but he shouldn't be off the board, but I think he's going to be. And
Okay.
I have some Cousins and Wood lineups together.
I guess you could do that.
Yeah, I mean, they might get a little bit of run at the same time, but more importantly, again, I don't need all the run from – they're going to get run at the same time. You know what? I'll scratch that. They are absolutely good. I don't think they're just going to treat this game like that because they can't really.
What do you mean they can't?
I mean, there's still a competitive basketball team that needs to try and win basketball games. It's pretty straightforward. It's early enough in the season where people aren't going to – teams that are struggling are going to try to win, I think. And you're going to put your best foot forward, and that includes that would include. I mean, Christian Wood can play the 4, like he's played the 4 most of his career until now.
And who's coming over there? Oladipo?
For which one?
Who's coming to the Rockets?
Oladipo's Oladipo's going to the Rockets.
Okay.
Sorry, I said no, yes, a couple times. But yeah, the Vincent thing is maybe more of a thing than. I think maybe that's what you want to try and do is maybe get a little bit like sort of what Sheets was mentioning with JaMychal Green, who I don't think is a bad play, but I just think I'd rather play these other guys. And I'm getting to a little bit of Will Barton here and there because I need some of these middling guys to sort of fill out some of these lineups. So just throwing out what I got, but we'll go position by position on FanDuel in just a minute. The problem I'm having on FanDuel is I don't dislike my original builds. Right. I'm looking. I always have things to change, and I have nothing I want to change. On FanDuel, it's just going to be a lot of I guess a lot of the same stuff for me. I'm missing anything on FanDuel? That's the question. And I think the thing is the ultra value becomes less necessary on FanDuel than it is on DraftKings.
Well, it always is, right?
Yep. Every now and then there's a weird slate where there's some reason you need to get value to get certain guys, but mostly, yes, it always is. And they're all going to be on the same. The only thing is the Ochoa Olynyk thing feels hard to avoid on FanDuel for me. Do you have any thoughts on that one, Sheets?
On FanDuel, I have 100% of Precious.
How about Olynyk?
I have 100% Hero, 100% Precious, and 100% Wood.
Hero, Precious, Wood. Okay, that all makes sense to me. So
in fairness, I only have 9 lineups.
Do you have any Olynyk at all?
Yes, I have 44% Olynyk.
Okay.
On FanDuel.
Let's leave 9 then and take a look.
I mean, but remember that in context, it means 4 lineups. They're all right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't see it.
No, I just happen to have them up.
Yeah. All right. So I'm taking a quick look. So let's do some positions. Okay. Point guards. Who are we looking at? Sheets.
Hang on.
It feels weird not to play Olynyk at 5,300 in all your lineups. Up to me.
I haven't on FanDuel.
For me, on the big buy-ins.
Yeah, I mean, you mean just Wood and Olynyk?
Yeah, I think that actually you can fade Wood on some lineups.
Really? Okay.
It's only. I mean, look. What if there's the trying to project? Look, I'm not saying they're going to get blown out, but if they do, you're going to be one of the guys off the court.
That is true.
And he could put up 40 and look, you might get 60 out of what's his name, Sabonis. And you've got the overpriced Boucher, which I'm kind of interested in doing some stuff with that. Macklemore, Tate, Wood. Okay. Is it weird that my lineups are Curry and Murray or Curry and Murray on FanDuel?
Mine are Lillard and Lowry or Lillard and Ball.
I love Lowry. I love Lowry too. I absolutely love Lowry tonight, and I like the Ball thing. I do have Ball in one of my big 4 buy-ins.
It's so expensive.
It feels crazy. It feels nuts.
And it's not like Toronto plays bad defense.
Oh no, they do. This year they've been the worst at distributing in the NBA. That's partly why I like them. I've watched their games, man, and it's like watching a different team. Like they just give up so much to these guys.
Who do you have at center on FanDuel?
Jokic and Embiid.
I have Jokic, Nurkic, Embiid, and
Nurkic's price on FanDuel.
What's that?
What is Nurkic?
6,400.
Okay, that's going to be a good play because I don't think anyone's doing
No
that.
one's playing that. And I have I got one lineup with Cousins.
Oh, that's a boy. I don't know the Cousins actually. I'm into the Cousins thing.
Cousins and Wood together, by the way. LFG.
Yeah, I have 100% Hero. I have 100%. Well, not 100% Olynyk, but like 75% Olynyk. 90%, 80% Woods. I'm still trying to find ways around the Woods thing, but so far I haven't come up with much. And do I have to be in both of these? I don't need Nwaba at 4,800 obviously anymore. But we do get Mr. Hero's running mate. No, we don't. I thought they made him. Where is he? Oh, he's only 4. Where is he? What is going on here?
Don't look. By the way.
Oh, that's what pisses me off. They moved Duncan Robinson to small forward. God damn it.
Okay, everybody, just don't look at what I'm doing here.
You guys, I'll answer more questions in 2 minutes exactly. I'm just gonna, or pretty close to exactly. I'm just gonna try and edit one more thing that I need to make some changes on. Yeah, I don't think I need to lock in Jae'Sean Tate.
I got a lot of them. Somebody you could have my spreadsheet like 15 minutes ago.
I know, no, but I had some Nwaba from earlier, and look, I'm gonna leave it in some smaller buy-in tournaments, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I don't think you need to absolutely lock in Tate over there. I actually think Achua is the better play, but I do like Tate a ton.
What's Tate's price on FanDuel?
Tate's price is 4.
Are you playing him there?
Yeah, I am. I was trying to get off of 100% of him.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to do right now. And you can, because you can play Duncan Robinson, and it works out well with my Philly stack. But oh wait, do I have too many Heat? No, I don't. I thought I did for a second.
Can't have too many Heat.
You can't have too many. That's right. But yeah, I've got Curry in both of my big buy-ins on FanDuel. One with Murray, one with Jokic running it back. I'll talk about, let's see, shooting guard.
Shooting guard is Hero, right?
They won't let me play 5 Heat, will they?
That's not very nice.
I don't think they're going to let me. Shooting guard is Hero, but then so my other shooting guard, it's the question of wanting to lock in Ben McLemore or not. I think it's fine to. Do I want to? Do I see a bust path? For sure. But it is kind of hard to ignore. Let me see real quick. All right, point per dollar. We got. Because I was thinking like to get Iguodala in too, just to try and nail the Heat's closing.
What about that? What about Iguodala, huh?
Yeah, I think there's some possibility that he has a good game here. I mean, like it's back in Philly. He had a good game last time out, even though he only played 22 minutes. The minutes worry me. I mean, they do. Like he also seems like if the game gets ugly, he's the first one off the court. But that doesn't matter if you're stacking the game, which I am. Not stacking, but playing Embiid on the other side, I should say, with 4 of these guys.
All right, so I'm gonna in about maybe 3 minutes, because 6:53 is still plenty of time. I'm gonna need some help at the small forward position because I have someone in 2 of my 9 lineups who I do not want to have.
Okay.
And
just do it right now. Tell me, I can do that right now.
The small, who do you like at the small forward position on FanDuel? Maybe, hopefully, at like the 4K range.
On small forward?
Yeah. Tate's 4K?
It's exactly 4K.
All right, so I presume Tate's a better play than Carmelo Anthony?
Yes. It could be. I mean, you never know. Carmelo might make like 6 threes. He still may not even beat him.
Okay.
So
that's the answer then. Now I'm just guessing that Carmelo's exactly 4K. So I have to go back into my. I'm doing something right now, which will be done, like I said, it'll be done in about 120 seconds. But we have to edit my FanDuel NHL lineup, so we're doing that right now.
Oh my God, this guy!
That's why I said don't look. That's what I said.
I'm not looking. I can't look right now.
You can't tell. You don't know. You don't know what any of this crap means anyway.
Okay, well, they're not going to let me play 5 of them, so I have to leave some money on the table in one of my lineups over here.
We're on FanDuel?
Yeah. Or I could do the Miles Bridges thing. We still don't have a lineup for them yet, which is kind of disturbing. Okay, let me look in chat real quick, see if they have picked up on anything. Siakam / Boucher on DK. I like both of them. I wouldn't play them a ton together, but I don't think it's bad. Feels like a Draymond game. It does feel like a Draymond game a little bit, but every game feels like a Draymond game because he feels too cheap. I just want to, like, he and Curry play well together, but it doesn't mean their numbers correlate well together. And we've seen that sort of so far this year. It is Nwaba's birthday, so they rewarded him by sitting him? What the hell is that?
Oh my God. It's his birthday today.
Maybe I shouldn't be taking
Nwaba. That means blowout run.
He's 4,800 too on FanDuel. I thought I'd get him at lower, and you'll definitely get him at low ownership now.
Oh, no one's going to play him there.
Yeah. Sabonis, Wood, Kelly O on FanDuel. Which one would you fade? I don't like fading any of them, so I have some of each of them. But the one who I'm finding out of my lineups, even though I really like him, is Sabonis. That's the answer. I just found my answer, though.
What is this? Sheets has Iguodala in a lineup on FanDuel. Interesting.
I almost ended up with Iguodala in the lineup on FanDuel.
What's that?
I almost just a minute ago ended up with Iguodala. I think I might actually put him in because I'm taking Duncan Robinson out, and I'm going to put in. I think I'm going to play. I'm tempted to play the Bridges thing. Toronto's just been playing faster. The minutes have gone up. The production hasn't really gone up, but he's had some decent games. Yikes! Am I really just talking myself into this a little too much? Probably, Bobby. Basically, I'm looking at a possible no Houston players in my lineup on FanDuel, and that just feels like
that seems like a recipe for I don't know, man.
Are we sure about that?
No, we're not sure. This is America. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just finish this nonsense. Then I got to deal with this Carmelo and this Iguodala business. Hold on.
It does feel like Bridges might not be the worst thing in the world here, and then I can do this, and I can play Sterling Brown as my only. Maybe that's what I do. Is in my other lineup I'll play Sterling Brown instead of. Does that work? Sterling Brown instead of McLemore. Yes, that does work actually. Boom! I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play McLemore over here because if we play just one, I sort of like McLemore's upside the most of all of those guys.
McLemore?
Yeah, I'm just gonna see what Bridges' projection is right now. If we're gonna play Bridges 30 minutes, he's definitely well in play, and that's what I've got him at 31. But yeah, so where I'm playing a few of the other Houston guys and looking for the value, that's where I'm going to use what's his name instead of McLemore, Sterling Brown. And where I don't have that, I'll play Sterling Brown instead of McLemore. Make sense?
Say that one more time.
So if I'm playing multiple, like Christian Wood, Jason Tate, and I've got 2 lineups on 2 big buy-ins on FanDuel, and I have Christian Wood and Tate already in the lineup, so I'm going to fade McLemore in that one. I'm going to play fade McLemore in that one and play what's his name, Sterling Brown. And in my other one, I'm going to play McLemore over Sterling Brown, where I don't have any other Houston exposure.
You know, funny you mentioned not having any. Wait a minute. Okay, we're going to do this. I was going to say, funny you mentioned not having any Rockets, but no, because I have all the Wood. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I am fading Precious in one of my. Oh my God, I have to change this around. I can't fade him in both of my big buy-ins on DraftKings.
Precious,
such a beauty. This lineup, though, it's such a beauty.
What is it?
It's just stacking the other parts of the game every which way, and it was going to be fun. No, I can't have 0 of them. I think we got some other thing. Graham, Rozier, Martin, Biyombo, and Washington. So they're not starting Mikal Bridges. I'm totally fine with it. I'm still fine with the play. I don't think it's that optimal, but I do think that it's worth taking a shot in tournaments for sure.
Okay, so I I have, well, what I have is I have Ball and Bridges in the same lineup. I guess both coming off the bench, huh?
Yeah, that makes sense. That
Let's do it.
makes enough sense to me.
Let's rock.
Houston. No more Melo. No more Brogdon.
Whoa, who is M. Jones?
I don't know. Oh, Jones. What is his name? Mason Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's who he is.
we don't like him?
Is he starting?
I don't know. He's
What
playing. There are 8 guys, and he's playing. No.
Sure. No, I mean he'd be the other one you could use. I think his minutes are going to be a little less than the other guys are, but yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Well, this one I don't. Yeah, I guess I do need this one. Well, is there anybody? Yeah, maybe this is not very wise to use. Okay, so if I drop down from Bridges and one, because I have him 33% of my lineup, so I don't need him 33%. I could put him 2 of them.
Yeah.
So who else is good at small forward? Well, there was Tate, right?
Yep.
And then at shooting guard, anybody good at 3,800 at shooting guard? Probably somebody, right? McLemore, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You like McLemore better than Sterling Brown, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Bridges coming off the bench at 5,600 is pretty scary.
On FanDuel, he's 43. It's totally different.
Oh, right. Okay. That's fine.
Tyler Hero. I mean, if we're talking about playing LaMelo Ball in general, we should be talking about playing him at the prices.
I guess so, right?
Yeah. Do I really end up with no Chris Boucher after this? No, I can't do that to myself.
Boucher, yeah. What's his name again?
Bobby Boucher.
Right, Bobby Boucher. So I got 2 lineups. So I'm back in my play with 2 lineups with JaMychal Green. Oh my God, Lillard for 42 minutes on a back-to-back against the Pacers. God bless me. All right, we'll see what happens.
Let me finish this one up real quick. I've got 25 seconds to get this right.
Oh, sure.
Nwaba, Brogdon, Sumner. No, not Sumner.
John Diaz says, if the Heat players are under-owned, I'll be very surprised. I mean, the Rockets guys will be more owned, I mean, if that means anything. The Rocket guys will be more popular than the Miami guys, I presume.
Yeah.
On DraftKings. I mean, on FanDuel, it's possible that that Hero is more popular than maybe all of them, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, well, we've just got the one game going so far. I'm going to answer some quick questions because I know that, sorry, guys, it's always a little bit of a scramble at the end, especially once we get the starting lineups and stuff.
But I'm going to probably have to – I'm on a tight
Can you give me 30 seconds of rapid fire?
What's that?
30 seconds of rapid fire questions.
You literally have 30 seconds, Rob.
Okay. Bridge is a good play. I think he's okay. Melo's in a good spot. I agree. Oubre warming up, smash potential tonight. I'm not really sure what that means. Maybe that guy's actually there. That would be cool. Anyone like Martin over Tate on both sites?
I have Max Strus at 1%.
No,
I have Max Strus at 1%, by the way.
Martin is interesting though. So I like him a little. Like I'm gonna have some of him. Put it that way.
All right, guys. I gotta cut it.
Guys, thanks so much. Hopefully we were helpful. Good luck to everyone.